What's going on, true believers? Welcome to another episode of One Shot. I am your host, Jacob, and what a massive week this was for comic collecting. For me, especially, because I got a few really good deals on some back issue stuff. But since we got so many things going on, let's get right into it. I'm going to just skim over some of the not so good ones, not as in depth a review. And starting us off is Bunny Mask, issue number 4. I'm gonna be dropping this book. It didn't live up to what I was hoping for. It's just confusing nonsense. I don't know what to do with it. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be dropping this one for sure. Stillwater issue 10. This one kind of wrapped up a little weird. It's not the end of the series, I don't believe, but it's definitely the end of what's been going on. The children of Stillwater, who, if you've been reading this book, know are not really children mentally. They've just been their growth has been stunted by still the town itself. They haven't been allowed to grow up, so they're adult minds inside of the bodies of children. The children have kind of taken over Stillwater, and they're wanting to grow up. They're creating a new system, a new government for Stillwater, which in some ways seems better than the old system, but in other ways it's kind of like, is this going to be worse than what was going on? And I do believe they're continuing the story later on. But this series has been really great. Chip Zdarsky, can't say his name enough in my videos. Rabid World, issue number 4. This has been a series I'm glad I got into. I got the first issue in the Comic Tom Mystery Mail Call, and just classic zombie storyline. I mean, what more can you ask for? Nothing super different about it, except, follows all the tropes, it seems. Just, classic storytelling, zombie wise. Second Chances. This one, seems like it's been forever since the first one came out, so I was a little confused on the story here. But the story is still a little confusing for me, even after going back over it. This guy is now involved with other assassins, like he used to date some of them. Some assassin was trying to take out a target that he knew, but I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be continuing this one. I'm going to give this one another issue or two to see if things start coalescing a little bit more. But the artwork's great. I do enjoy the artwork and the idea of the story. It's just not hitting that home run I'm wanting. Batman: The Adventures Continue, Season 2. This one was okay. The series has been really good, but this one's just kind of okay. I was introduced to a character I'm not familiar with. I don't know if he's ever made an appearance anywhere else or not. What did they call him? Strongman or something like that. I don't remember. But we're following around. What's her name? The new police chief or whatever, and the mob is out to take her out, and she doesn't like Batman necessarily, but Batman is still there trying to protect her. It's just an okay kind of story, nothing special. Bounty Hunter 16. So it kind of ties in to where the War of the Bounty Hunters was at. Valance was teamed up with Dengar. Then now he's left Dengar kind of floating around, and he's teamed up with Boba Fett to try to recapture Han Solo. Um, I don't know. This one was an okay issue. Again, nothing super special happened. I do enjoy the artwork in this book a lot, but this one was just a meh kind of issue. Batman 113. We're still going through the whole fear state scenario here. This book was mostly forgettable, just mostly a lot of dialogue. But, it's still a really good book. James Tynion does a really good job on this. But, it's okay. King Spawn, issue number 2. He's just, I don't know what's going on with Spawn. He just seems super angry at the people close to him for almost no reason, because he's angry at himself for his lack of, for his failures and stuff. I don't know. But the story's been good. The artwork's great. I'm really really excited to see Gunslinger Spawn come out. I think that's next month, because I really want to learn more about him, not knowing a ton about the Spawn universe. But I believe there's a character in this one that possibly died off in one of the earlier issues of Spawn, and he's kind of making a reappearance or something, maybe. Again, not too familiar with the Spawn universe, but this series has been really good. Again, the writing's not spectacular. The story arcs are kind of predictable in a way, but I mean, it's a good book. $2.99 price tag still. Nightwing, issue 84. So this is tying into the Fear State storyline. Dick Grayson he's struggling with the idea that he's got to protect the Bloodhaven in a different way, as opposed to being the superhero that he normally is. He's got to do it through the system now. So he's driving towards Gotham, and he sees that there's a problem there. That obviously the whole Fear State thing's going on. So he gets a message from Oracle, supposedly, but it's not really Oracle. It's the person that's pretending to be Oracle and kind of causing more fear in the city. But he's contacted by this person and told to meet him, or meet her at the crime alley. So he goes there, and the magistrate shows up and is trying to take him out, and almost succeeds until Batman arrives and kind of rescues him. This book has been really good. I'm really happy that I hopped on this when I did. Nightwing 84, really good story. Batman the Detective number 5. This is kind of wrapping things up a little bit. I think it might be over, but at the same time starting something like a new storyline, or at least leaving it open to possibly continue on somewhere else. Batman has beat this group of people that are killing people that he's rescued. He's beat the entire group, but one of them, the main one, escapes. We learn who that is, and it's one of the people that trained him. He trained this other person, and so she's kind of almost on the same level, um, with her martial arts skills and stuff as Batman, which is interesting to see that fight. But he's a bit older, so he's obviously not at the top of his game as she is. But she gets away, and we find out that he at one time has saved the entire city of London, and they think that that's going to be her next target, and that's where this book ends. This series has been pretty good. I like the fact that he's not in Gotham right now, that he's kind of still just trying to figure himself out, almost like a light retirement, if you would. He's kind of just exploring a little more. It's an interesting story. Moon Knight, issue number 3. We're introduced to uh, another Fist of Khonshu, the Hunter's Moon. And Moon Knight thinks that he's trying to kill him, and he just says, "No, I'm not. I'm trying to retrain you. You need to get back on track with what Khonshu wants." And he's like, "Didn't you get all the same memories that I got when Khonshu made you a Moon Knight? You should have all the same fighting techniques and stuff as all the other Moon Knights, because you have that downloaded in your brain." And he realizes he's not the same. None of the memories, he didn't get any of the other memories and stuff. He just basically got resurrected. Um, and that's why Moon Knight can beat him in a fight, because he's unpredictable to him. He doesn't have that connection. Um, so Hunter's Moon is trying to kill some of his friends to make him, a little more disconnected from people and things, so he can basically do what he's supposed to be doing, which is being the Fist of Khonshu. But obviously he fails. It was a really good story. This series has been pretty good so far. Moon Knight. Alien. I love this cover. An alien in the cornfield. This is a new arc. There seems to be like this religious sect of people that have been working almost like indentured servants, for probably, I think it's the Weyland-Yutani Company. They are terraforming a planet, and they were told that if they worked for the company for so long and they did the job, that they would eventually just get the planet. And they seem maybe like they have some type of religious zealotry, and they don't have access to a lot of medical things that they need. They're almost like space Amish, it seems like, but they use technology still. And the ship winds up crashing on their world. Obviously, it's full of alien eggs, and that's kind of where it ends. So this series, I liked the first arc a lot. I think this arc might even be better. I'm always on with any alien series that comes out. I'm on it. So this has been really good. Alien. Eat the Rich, issue number 2. This one was more, we're learning more about, the servants and the people that hire them. What is their dynamic? They know what they're getting into when they're hired on. It's in their contract, as well as a non-disclosure about it, which I don't know a whole lot about law, but I'm pretty sure being murdered towards the end of your service wouldn't hold up in any type of court if you brought that contract in. But that's kind of what's happening here. These people are signing their lives away to work as servants, and then kind of when they retire, uh, the servants are given a farewell party and murdered and eaten. And this girl here, who is dating the son of one of these rich people, is like day number one that she's there, finding out all of this information and freaking out. And so she's now just trying to figure out what to do, how to work around all of this. This series is great. It's hitting that horror vibe for me, and the writing's good, the artwork's good. Definitely still all in on Eat the Rich. And probably the best book this week was The Last Ronin, issue number 4. A little bit of spoilers for this book here. Michelangelo is the last survivor. I mean, we're 4 issues in. We learned this early on. But now we're learning how all the others have died and left him as the last one. April has a daughter, and she's a little bit different. She's special. She's stronger, faster than a normal person would be. And we find out that due to years of exposure to the turtles, April and Casey Jones kind of passed on a little bit of mutated DNA down towards their daughter. And so she has a little bit of speed and strength and healing abilities. So Michelangelo decides to take her on and become her sensei and teach her how to, control herself a little bit, fight a little better. But they're in this issue, they're attacking one of the big bad's bases, and they wind up wiping it out. Overall, this series has been fantastic. Ninja Turtles. I never read any of the comic books before this one, but man, if they were anything like this, I need to get some back issues. I don't know how many more issues are in this series, but there's at least one more, and I can't wait for it. The Last Ronin, probably my pick of the week right here. And let's go over some of the dollar things that I grabbed. You know me, I love me some Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue 329. I'm not sure if this is the first appearance of it, but it's the Tri-Sentinel. I don't know. It was a little strange, but thought it was cool for $1, filling in some of those gaps. Spider-Man Siege. This was a one-shot. I haven't read any of these yet, but that artwork looks pretty cool. I love the cover, so it was a one-shot. The Superior Spider-Man number 1. If I'm not mistaken, this is the one where Dr. Octopus takes over Peter Parker's body, if I'm not mistaken. So for $1, I can't beat that. And some older books here. Marvel Team Up, featuring Spider-Man and the Human Torch. This is a older Kang appearance. Thought it was really cool, like the older style cover art, for $1. And I picked this one up solely on the cover. Know nothing about it. The Avengers, $2.95. I don't know why the robot dinosaur there. Just the intricacies of it, the design, the way it was drawn out. It drew me in, and I had to buy it just simply because of this cover. Hulk and Pitt. Hulk is from Marvel. Pitt is from Image Comics. Pitt is a lot like the Hulk for Image Comics, so I thought seeing how they interacted with each other would be kind of cool. So, and again, $1, and I believe it's like a trade. Yeah, most of these are trades left. Spider-Man, Kingpin, To the Death, again, $1. Probably a really good Spider-Man story. It's got Stan Lee, John Romita, Tom DeFalco, Dan Green. I mean, what a team. And I like my crossovers, obviously, because I got Batman, Punisher. I believe this is the John Paul Valley Batman, and his bat armor, and interacting with the Punisher. That should be interesting. I know if it were the Bruce Wayne Batman, these two would definitely not get along because the Punisher just kills without caring, and Batman doesn't like killing or using guns and stuff like that. But I thought that was interesting for like a trade. And then picked up a few more of the Punisher series that I've been reading. I've been enjoying this series a lot. Got issue number 9 and issue number 8. Really cool covers. The artwork is really good. And lastly, I bought this last week. This was with the Spider-Man 301 and the 298. But this one, the guy I bought it from, Doug, the comic shop owner, he had forgotten it, so I got it this week. Amazing Spider-Man 252, the first appearance of the Black Suit. I did read this issue and I enjoyed it. Classic Spider-Man. And it's the one with the barcode on it, which is more sought after. People seem to seek those out a lot more. But I got an amazing deal on it, and I couldn't pass it up. Just another beautiful, amazing Spider-Man to add to my collection. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could, leave me a like if you liked the video. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you're reading. Tell me what I should be reading. Join us next week. I know this video came out a little late. I'm getting used to a new job schedule, and with all of these huge books this week, it took me a little longer to get through them. But yeah, join us next week for another episode of One Shot, and as always, have a good day.